All right. Flyers lose this game 2-1 in overtime to the Panthers. Not the greatest game. Another game where I'm thinking to myself, what is it with this team and their system and their power play, 5-on-5? Like, I know the lines are different, and like I know this team is stuck in a way where like you don't have a second line center. You just lost your third line center. You call out Morgan Frost. You're losing. You've lost Ryan Ellis for majority of the beginning of the year here, and like it's definitely starting to show, and you're kind of stuck because you're going with that next man up mentality all the time, and you just don't have the guys that normally would be playing these positions. I understand that, but you still have guys like Claude Giroux, Sean Couturier, Travis Konecny, Joel Farabee, Cam Atkinson, James Van Reems, like Scott Lawton, Oscar Lindblom, Zach McEwen, like guys that can score goals, guys that can have a lot more skill, guys that you have the talent to score goals, and you're not doing it. You have one goal tonight. It comes from Farabee in the first period. You're hemmed in your own zone in the first 5 minutes, and like the Flyers just like too many reaching, losing puck battles, like certain things like that, and they're just starting to creep up on this team. That's now four straight losses. You get a point out of this one. You battled. Martin Jones was fantastic. Doesn't surprise me. I think Jones has been really good for a majority of the season. Um, there was a lot of things that I didn't like in this game. A lot of there were a good amount of things I did like. I really like Morgan Frost. Thought he was just sound overall. Had a really quiet, good game. Made a couple good defensive plays behind the net. Couple good plays to force some turnovers. Had a set Cam Atkinson that just went wide. Would have had a breakaway, but was called offside. Refs were horrible in this game too. I mean, you got the missed call on Giroux, the missed call on the Frost offside. Then you have the cross check on Provorov at the end of the game, which was ridiculous. Konecny gets slammed by Gudis, no call there. It was just little things, man, and Florida would end up getting a power play goal to tie this game and a bunch of different things. But the lines in this one were a little different. I had tweeted out this morning that I wanted to see Giroux with Frost and Atkinson close. Farabee, Frost, and Atkinson was the second line. First line was Giroux, Couturier, Konecny. Third line, JVR, Lawton, McEwen. Fourth line, Lindblom, Thompson, and Willman. Defensive pairs were switched up for pretty much the first time since Ellis has been hurt. Provorov with Ristolainen, Sealer, and Sanheim. Sanheim on the left, Sealer on the right, and then Yandel and Braun. I don't like that at all. I'm really getting to the point where I don't want to see Nick Sealer on the ice anymore. It's not even the fact that he's been bad, like where I'm like, I just don't want to keep seeing him on the team. I feel like there's better options that they have, but they're kind of stuck because the Phantoms are struggling and things like that, and Zamula and York haven't necessarily looked like that they've been good enough to get a call up either. So I understand where the Flyers are at, but I don't like having the fact that Sealer gets put up when Braun was actually playing really well in your first pair and then goes down to the third pair. But like again, like you have an okay first period. The first 5 minutes, again, you're hemmed in your own zone, just slamming to do anything to get it out. Jones is making saves left and right. He's making some pretty easy saves, but making the save that he should make, and the Flyers are kind of just surviving. Then they get a goal. Farabee scores on a breakaway, like I mentioned. It was just Jones is saved one way on a 2-on-1. Flyers go up the ice and score. It kind of reminded me of the first game of the year that Jones played against the Bruins, where the Flyers won 6-3, and Bruins had a couple shifts in a row, like 2 full minutes in the Flyer zone. Flyers they get a breakout. Atkinson goes up and scores on a 2-on-1. And I'm like, that's kind of what reminded me of this. And the Flyers were kind of be able to open that up a little bit. They did. They actually did a really good job in this first period of opening it up, generate a lot of chances to get a power play. They had one quick little, pass from the slot from Konecny, had a chance on a Couturier shot, and then he got the rebound, but that was it. It was just unfortunate. And the Flyers were able to use the stretch pass to their advantage. They had a couple breakaway chances, like I mentioned, with no calls. Giroux it looked like he got tripped up. Didn't call that. Frost call was offside, which was onside. It was just not a great period for the refs. Not a great game, but it was an okay first period for the Flyers. I mean, you're up 1-0. You're able to get out of that with a lead and survive, and Second period, they just did nothing. Their system was just boring. They played boring hockey. They survived. They got to the red line. They dumped it. They changed. And again, it was just dump and hope we get it back. I mean, that's what it was. And it's a problem when you do that constantly and you don't win puck battles. The other team moves out quicker than you do. And you don't have the guys to do that. But you have enough talent to score off the rush, generate chances in the zone, and stop having everything around the perimeter. I mean, it's a problem. There was another chance in this game, like last night that I mentioned, when Couturier had kind of just like went to the middle and everybody kind of froze. Well, there was a play where Sanheim walked the line and shot the puck from the point, and it felt like everybody kind of just froze again. Like, I feel like there's this thing that the Flyers are doing late in games that they should be doing earlier because their system is not good, and it's not doing anything for them. Jones keeps them in the second period, end of 2. Shots were 24-23 in favor of the Panthers, 9-8 Flyers in the period. And Flyers have a chance to make this 2-0 in the first minute here. 2-on-1, Couturier and G. Giroux whiffs on the pass, goes right on Bobrovsky. Florida had 3 posts in this game. They had their third early in the third. This was a rough one because it's a scramble in front. Coots ends up keeping the puck out. Sealer takes a penalty for a slash. Okay, yes, that was a penalty. But how do you not call Gudas just slamming Konechny for really no reason? I mean, that was not a smart play from Gudas, even though it didn't get called. And Panthers score on that. Bennett scores in front. McEwen absolutely lays out Gudas after that, which I love. So then 4-on-4, really wasn't much going there for the Flyers. Looked like the Panthers were on a power play. Jones has a great save on Verhaeghe off the rush. Frost had a really nice play to set up Atkinson, like I mentioned earlier, but then ended up going the other way. Then the Florida, they get a power play off the cross check. Horrible call. Absolutely horrible. Really good penalty kill from the Flyers. Overtime was overtime. The fact that Farabee had his stick slashed all the way up into the air by Ekblad, they don't call it, as the ref was literally standing there looking at it, and Farabee said it post-game, like it was kind of frustrating that he was standing 5 feet away from me, and he didn't call it. And Ekblad scores. With Farabee with no stick, lane was wide open, wasn't much Jones could do, really wasn't much anyone on the Flyers could do, and they get a point, which is good. But it's very frustrating because this team is stuck in a position where it's like, you don't have the best options of guys to put back into the lineup. And I know Frost is one of them, but like you're starting to see the trickle-down effect of not having these guys in the lineup. And it's very concerning. So I really don't know what else to say. You got Carolina on Friday. And yeah, it's been a tough couple games here for the Flyers. And a very tough. I mean, their schedule is horrible. It's very unfortunate because they have a tough schedule and they don't have, again, they're stuck in that position, and you know they don't they're playing another team that just has 4 days off before this game. It's like, dude, what is happening? They're playing a lot of these teams that just have so much rest going into it. So the other good thing about this is, you know, they are hanging in there regardless of if they're not playing great. They're hanging in there, but it's not trending in the right direction, and I'm very glad tomorrow is Thanksgiving, as I can kind of take the Flyers out of my mind and then get right back to it on Friday. So let me know your guys' thoughts below. Remember, guys, podcast articles, those links are on my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys in the next one, and goodbye.